Hey there, George. This is Carrie. I just thought I would take a couple minutes and show you a few more things that you might find useful as you're thinking about using online databases in your 122 class. When you're on your D2L course homepage, you want to set it up so that this green box shows up where it says Online Library Database. Which is not automatic in D2L. You actually have to do this yourself. So if you haven't already done this, then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to come down in the course administration area. You're going to want to click on Home Pages, and then when you get there where it says Active Home Page, it's probably on the default setting right now. You want to make sure you switch that to Online Home Page. You're going to hit Apply, and then when I go back to my main page, this will show up at that point. And so this is what your students will use to do their library research. And so it's good to have it, I think, on the course main page. Another resource I was going to show you was something I set up last semester for students, and you may want to consider doing something similar, or maybe look at mine and see if there's anything you could borrow. In the quiz area here, I set up an activity, and this was helping students figure out how to use online databases and why databases are better than Google for academic research and so forth. And so I have this activity number 10, library research. And if you want to look at this, you just go into my course, which I'm pretty sure you have access to from last fall. And on the drop-down menu here, you click on preview, and then you would just start the quiz, and it would take you through. This first part may be a little bit misleading to you because I'm giving students different options. I'm basically saying you could, if you're a campus-based student who's taking an online class, you could certainly use your campus library because each of the three campuses has a library. However, the Westminster and Larimer libraries are much more extensive in their offering than the Boulder Library, which isn't really much of a library at all. So I was sort of suggesting to students that they use the Harmony Library or the online library because I think the online library is easy, and I think the Larimer library, I was able to give them this username and password so that they wouldn't actually have to go in and get their own library card. And the only reason I can do this is because I'm a Larimer-based faculty. So you would not give the same advice because you're not based on the Larimer campus. I think if I were you, I would probably just tell students to use that online libraries link on in the green box, okay? And so I gave them a link here for more information on campus libraries. And then I kind of walked them through some questions. I set it up like a quiz, but it was just an activity. And I had them look at various videos. This is one that I found online. It's a ProQuest screencast where the makers of the video compare databases to searches on Google and show why it's generally a better idea to go with a database search. So I have them look at that. And then I ask them a question so that I can hold them accountable for doing the work. And then I made a few screencasts that I embedded in here as well. So this first one has to do with, I gave them some examples of how they might search for certain things that we were studying in philosophy and English in the databases. So I went in and modeled some of that for them. In this other screencast, let's see, I told them how to find the databases. So this one actually, I don't know, it may be useful for you, or you may find it's too specific to that particular class that I was teaching at the time, but I just kind of walk them through and show them this is this is where you go, this is how you get on the library databases and so forth. And then in this one, I gave them some different tips, I think, and asked them to take notes along the way, just things to kind of keep in mind as they were searching. And so this, I will tell you that setting this activity up was super successful. And I've been teaching library research face-to-face and online for about 15 years, and this is the first time that I think my students actually figured out how to use databases and actually use them and didn't really have any problems. So even though it took me a while to set up this activity, it ended up saving me a ton of time in the end because I didn't have to field all those emails from confused students. And I know students were getting research that was really good because they were definitely getting it from the databases. So you may want to take a look in my course and see Again, this was that activity number 10 under my quiz tool. So you can see if you maybe like this or if you want to create something like this. But at the very least, I think you're going to want to send them that other link that I gave you in the email, which was created by some librarians at Westminster just to sort of help online students specifically figure out how to do library database, library research for English 122. Okay, that's all. Thanks, George.